There's just 1 minute to showtime.
The engines are on.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
When they wrote up the systems and the rule set that we use, did working people get to write a line? What class of men on pen and paper jotted down their clues? With capital, the heart of their design. When 90 million want a thing, but some shareholders say no. Which class of people get to have their way? The people read the fine print, say that this thing has got to go, and we'll start writing a new contract here today. Don't you know that hundreds will work and one man keeps the money? They don't think they gotta tell us why. When they say the new social contract, all the bosses will be gobsmacked and everyone will want a sign. Oh, yeah, everyone will want a sign.
Okay. Hello, cousins. Thank you so much for joining us. We have our Jared back. Yay! Mr. Mayor has returned.
I'm here. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I am ready to talk about world events.
The stuff and the things. Yeah, I know, right? Like, finally, we have gotten past the whole, I don't know, maybe we're doing a whole year thing on this. I have no idea. But the America 250 thing hopefully is over and we can stop fucking talking about it because I am so sick of this stupid thing. It's like looking at like a dilapidated, burned out car and being like, look at this baby go. You know, I'm really, really sick of this shit. So, and I think probably now all the distractions are over with and all the dilapidation is over with. So we are probably going to just head right back into the mass and mass insanity of what's all going on. Because things, again, have been quiet for a few weeks and it's been very, very eerie. And it's like, okay, what are they planning? So we know also just, you know, in terms of, there's just not a whole lot of information on this just yet. But, you know, this, you know, so we will cover this coming up, but the, you know, we will have ultimately the story of merging the United States and Israeli military, which is probably just a step on the way to declaring them a state. You know, at this point, nobody cares about optics anymore. That's not even a thing. But you know, since it's still like the last thing I heard was, you know, the headline was Congress expected to stand down. Like, oh yeah, we really expected them to stand up on this one. Sure, right, all right. In this case, yeah, right. Like, oh, what a shock. Let me clutch my pearls on that one. So yeah, we don't have that one just for you yet. But of course, I think we probably could have put an actual timer on this one, but guess who got a sex scandal?
I thought it was like additional. I thought there was already one. I haven't really kept up with with Platner.
This guy is not fucking serious. Like, come on, like, get over it. Like, no. So I'm not surprised at all. Like, this comes to as no surprise whatsoever. I mean, the cycle's gonna cycle. Like, and my point is, like, when I say, like, let's put the timer on it, like, okay, like, again, and I talked about this last week. I think I've talked about this every week. Like, how many times are we just gonna go through the same stupid cycle and pretend that it's real before people are just like, hey, this is actually just made up shit. Like, you know, this is like literally like, okay, cue the scandal. Here we go. Like, this is what's going on. We're doing it. It's time for the scandal. And, you know, at the same time as all of this is going on, like, you know, like, and again, just beyond that, and I'm not criticizing like it having happened, like, or the victim or victims in question, like, obviously, like, but it's again, like, oh, who would have guessed like this horrible army chud with Nazi tattoos would do sex crimes? Come on. Like, have you guys been listening at all? And then, you know, we have these idiots like Hassan, and we have what was it, Sean King or something, who's like, I'll vote for this guy if he sexed my mom. And it's like, well, good news, bro. Give him your mom's number. I'll bet you he's down, because this is the second sex scandal with this guy. But again, once we go past, oh, Nazi tattoos are fine, like everything's on the fucking table, right? Like all of it. So we've got that. We'll dig into that a little bit more. And then we have some wins from the DSA, which is basically just communism light for liberals. So we'll make fun of some liberals here in a little bit too, if you're down for that. Like that's, we gotta let off some steam every now and again too, and take out our hatred on liberals. And then again, a lot of the big socialist accounts are passing around this poll that went down. And again, I don't have the specifics on the poll. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. I'm a human person and I ran out of time. So I didn't get the specific details on the poll, but they're like, look, guys, look, Gen Z, they're going to save us. They rated the socialism really high. They approve of socialism. Okay. And then they post the graphic and it's like socialism. Then they rated it capitalism and then communism. And it's like, you fucking idiots. Like, this is not a good sign, all right? Like, if they are not seeing that they're seeing these things as two different things and that socialism is just like the middle of the way to communism, then they're obviously not getting the point. So the headline here that is being missed is that the Gen Z saviors, okay, who have the reputation of being very informed and probably the last generation of people who are informed and at least the older ones can still read. But, they're at this point now having this, like, they're the ones on top of it. They're the ones out here making, moves and information and stuff like that, opposed to previous generations. The headline is now, okay, it doesn't matter if they rate socialism above capitalism, if they rate communism below capitalism. So we can try and get into that idea a little.
It's all like vibes based. Like that's like the acceptable answer. Like at the dinner party is like, well, I'm more of a socialist than a communist.
It's neutral, right?
It's just kind of like, and nobody. I don't really blame people. I'm not trying to be an elitist over here with like everyone has to have read various volumes of books and blah, blah. But it's just weird that people have opinions on these things where it's like if I had like brain surgery opinions and I'd never attempted to look into brain surgery. Like you can't vibe out how it's like because they just think it's like the government does stuff, etc. Like being really liberal, like being a Democrat but like kind of mad and. I don't blame them. They intentionally try to make it through stuff like this. They try to intentionally make it confusing and strange and discourage you from ever like getting into it. Like you assume that Karl Marx is just like some hippie who wrote some like mantras and like be nice to people. And it's
yeah, and then again, we're getting into the whole dichotomy of like, okay, we gotta partition things. They're different from each other, and then you'll occasionally
take the moderate
see
position, so they see it as like socialism is the middle point between capitalism.
Yeah, that's like by the way that they have identified that essentially makes it the new centrism. So you're going to see now this get like heavily borrowed and stealed. Like you're going to start seeing like the center, like that was the center before, now start trying to take and co-opt that and say, look, see, like when Kamala Harris comes right back out and she's like, look, though, socialism, great, guys, and then describes everything on the right. Like, this is socialism, right? Yeah. So, hey, shout out to the chat. Hey, Nathan and Time Traveler. Thanks for hanging out with us. Those are two of our pals. Friends of the show. We're glad to be hanging out and we're glad to have our mayor back. So yeah, and we're having a good time of all the bad times. That's what you can look forward to on Social Contact. That's what we bring you, assholes making fun of the bad times.
I can't believe that Kamala Harris appears to be like trying to run again for stuff. Like that just seems
she's taking the Hillary Clinton route. Just won't stop. Just won't die.
It's like if Hillary was running again, that seems crazy to me. Where it's like you lost so bad 2 times that like why would you?
But that's her whole career, honestly. Like every single thing she's ever done, like every office she's ran for, everything she hasn't been just appointed to, everything that she's tried to propose was always just fail after fail after fail after fail.
I said Joe Biden would never be president, so do not listen to me.
Oh yeah, up is down, black is white at this point. Like, well, again, like when we've said this so many times, but it bears repeating. When we got the very small drop in the bucket, look into the Epstein files that we got. When like eating people for fun, like when that came out and everybody now has just glossed over that shit because that's what we do as people apparently. When that came out, everything's on the table now. Every single thing. Like, you can't be like, that's too ridiculous. That's too conspiratorial. It's all there. It's all out there. It's all in your face. It's all happening. Everything, all the horrors are actually real. The demons are out of hell and they're running the goddamn asylum, which is our lives. So, and then if you were here for my whole thing, my whole screed last week, it was just that, like, you know, just like with this Graham Platner thing, like with clockwork, and like, you know, with the DSA and with the little bit of ground gaining and us talking about, oh, is it going to be Harris again, or is it going to be Newsom again? Like, this is all just bullshit. Like, this doesn't mean anything. It's just distraction, because the billionaire class, this Epstein class of people, is already creating city-states around the world that they are, you know, run for profit, that they're going to be running with AI. And, you know, this is where all the feeder stuff goes into, because they have essentially already neutralized the government into favoring them into being able to do everything. That's what the last 40 years of politics has been, 40 plus years at this point, is neutralizing the government's ability to do anything so that they just serve capital at this point. And that's where we are. So even though we aren't really left with anything but having to get, you know, into it and been like, here's these dumb political stories, this is all basically nothing. This is all of us just chasing our own tails at this point.
It's part of why I'm so uninformed on the Graham Platner stuff specifically. You want to get into that?
Stupid.
Let's pull up the plat.
Yeah, right.
The Platinum Man.
Like, and my feelings would not be hurt if this guy goes away forever, right? Like, this is totally fine.
So like I was just about to say, I have not been following the Graham Platner stuff super closely because I've been burned too many times. I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for for DSA people, because I used to be DSA people. Like, both of us kind of got on board with Bernie, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, we've been open about the fact that we are reformed shit libs.
Exactly.
We started as shit libs, Obama defenders, you know, Hillary defenders, and then now we're here.
So I do not feel any animosity or anger towards people who were like, "Come on, Graham Platner, woo!" Because he's just one of the like Zoran Mamdani, like AOC before them, like probably a couple other people, Rashida Tlaib, but she seems to be mostly on course still. I think she's the designated one who gets to not have to make the crappy votes whenever they can make it possible for her. But I'm just off that train now. So when Graham Platner showed up and like, he's the progressive candidate, blah blah blah, I'm like, I don't track him.
Whatever.
So my knowledge on Platner is not very encyclopedic. I just know that like the Hassan Piker streamer types and the other quote like socialist DSA people like them. So I'm like, okay, so how long until they are betrayed? And with Platner.
Yeah. And then they can set up a new guy and go after that guy and we go, we'll do it again. Like, how many more times are we going to do this dance?
At best, you get a Bernie who is ineffectual and seems to go away at the most crucial moments.
Right.
And at worst, you get a, what's her name, my senator, Kirsten Sinema, who becomes a senator and then just full out becomes a Republican. Like, just votes against her own party the entire time. So what was the point of voting?
Her dissension was psychotic, honestly. Like, her dissent, it was like what the hell?
That's like, that to me would be, if I was more of a conspiracy person, the just direct evidence of like, look how phony this all is. Look who the agent of blah blah blah. Because why else would she behave like this? Because yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so Graham Platner, this came out I was on the way home from my trip to Pittsburgh, and this was breaking. Like I just started seeing tweets.
This is like scandal number 2. This is inappropriate sexual conduct number 2.
I was out when they were like, well, he has like this specific like a skull Nazi tattoo thing that he was in the Iraq War, and but not just like in the Iraq War, but apparently doing horrible
shit, right?
Horrible war crime activities in Iraq. I'm like, okay, so why are we even? Why would I care about this guy ever?
Yeah,
but
and then people
now he's really
rallied
in trouble.
around this dude. Like, what?
You can kill a lot of Iraqi civilians and it's fine, but if you touch a lady, it's interesting, right? Like, he already had things that seem like not a big. I'm trying to like rank what is like the worst crime, but like,
right? Like, this guy like has like the worst fucking reputation.
Isn't
and
this
it's like,
the purity club? Isn't this that you have to have a perfect set of opinions, or we're gonna like throw you to the freaking wolves, like disown your own grandmother because she voted for the wrong guy? But Nazi tattoo guy, he's alright. Iraq child murder, whatever. Like,
yeah, right? Like, no, like, it's fine. Those were brown people in another country. It's fine. The Nazi tattoo is just camaraderie, guys. It's just how you go to understand about what it's like to be a soldier. Like, how many times were we lectured on that one?
Like, do not join people. I mean, like, already, you already know that it's a scam. Just don't sign up if you can do anything else. Okay, a woman who dated Maine, U.S. Unless you're gonna like intentionally join and like do a sabotage. Okay, never mind.
No.
A woman who dated Maine U.S. Senate candidate Graham Platner says he forced her to have sex with him nearly 5 years ago, despite her repeated objections. An allegation Platner denies. The woman, a 41-year-old Maine resident named Jenny Rassicot, detailed the alleged incident to Politico in 3 interviews over the past 2 weeks. Politico also spoke with a man Rassicot dated and confided in years after the alleged incident and reviewed documents, including emails between Rassicot and her therapist and messages between Rassicot and an acquaintance whom she warned against getting involved with Platner years before he ran for office. That was the longest sentence I've ever read in my life. But okay, you get the idea. Now now we have like a Me Too situation,
right.
And I mean, people are now bailing, and it's just. But
again, we have to ask: are we back onto this bullshit of like, okay, like, are we gonna like just sit here and tear this woman apart now, and like all his former supporters are gonna like ruin her life? Like, is this like like the Brett like what the guy?
I have seen some people say that like the same lady claimed a different thing a few years before. They're like, no, we had a great time. So, but I haven't seen too much of like them trying to slander her in the same way. That,
if the smear campaign begins, I
mean, nobody likes bringing it up because it's awkward. But Tara Reid was the lady that accused Joe Biden of doing sex stuff to her without permission.
It's like incredibly credible,
it's as corroborated as this. So like, if you're out for this.
His stepdaughter or whatever had shit, like that people had uncovered, or I don't know the relationship at this point. And this, I guess, politically water under the bridge. But
I just don't understand how if this was just like a person in your life for a lot of, like if like in your friend group who did any of this stuff, you would be like, never, I've cut you off in time. But like, oh, it's fine. It's just the president.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly what like this. And this is like the second thing for him, because there was like some sort of sexting thing. Again, neither one of us have followed this story because we don't take this guy seriously. Like, this guy is like a piece of shit. We knew he was a piece of shit. You really don't have to go past Nazi tattoos.
You don't get put up for these positions unless there's something like fishy.
And again, Jared has pointed this out many times. Like, you pull out the system is so automated at this point and so ineffectual. You pluck out who doesn't work and you plug in who does, and it's literally like you can't at any point in like the past like 40 plus years point to any moment where things have gotten better for people. Only for corporations and billionaires is where we are. So, of course this happens. It literally is clockwork, that we're talking about here. And it's like a second incident. And if there's enough to bring up 2 incidences, there's more incidences. That's all you can count on. So like, if this guy gets disgraced, or like, one of 2 things is going to happen. He's going to get the Biden treatment, and people will be like, "Oh, forget it. Don't pay attention. Forget it." Not even like necessarily like let's terrorize this woman, but just like let's just forget it. And
Tara Reid, I think it was like the New York Times did like a freaking hit piece on her where they were like calling up. They were like, sometimes she was late paying her rent, and that was supposed to be like, oh, what a piece of shit she is. Like, so apparently she was a very nice woman. She can't even live in this
country anymore. That's how well things worked out for her.
They chased her out to Russia because she's like, I think they're gonna whack me if I don't get out of here.
And that's the thing of it. It's like, you have to look at like these people that come out like, yeah, of course, like some of them could maybe like every now and again be an op who's like planned to do this, and it's not even their real identity and nobody's going to know, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Like they can take the heat because it's not really them. They're playing a part. Like, okay. But most of the time, like when someone comes out against one of these things, like I can't think of his name. What's the guy's Supreme Court went through all this with the
Kavanaugh,
Kavanaugh,
Brett
yeah, I couldn't think of Brett Kavanaugh. That woman had her life ruined. Like these people get their lives ruined over this. Like, so this is not like, oh, fine. Like the woman that E. Jean Carroll or whatever has had her life ruined. Like these people have, and we know that Trump is a sex predator. Like that, like, and we know, like, people like were like ready to literally tear the country apart when Biden was accused. Like, no, not another one. No, not him. He's so sweet and loving and wonderful, and we love him so many, and he has wonderful, amazing things. And Obama. That's you're like, Obama wouldn't love him so much if Obama. That was the entire argument with Joe Biden. And so like we have like, okay, destroy a woman's life, or so they have to leave the country or whatever, or just like until they get them to kill themselves or whatever, or we just pretend that we have collective amnesia and we don't even think about it and just elevate these people. So that's going to go one of two ways with Platner. So I don't know how many more scandals this guy has to amass, but now that we do live in the era of Trump where nothing fucking matters and you can get away with anything as long as enough people are like about it, because there are still a lot of people out there that treat Trump like some sort of like bro, right? Like, oh, he's a womanizer bro. Like, oh yeah, really fucking cool. Like, yeah, like pew pew, grab him by pussy, pew pew. It's like
if Platner,
you're never gonna get anywhere, guys.
If Platner gets in, it's just going to be even more insane when he then, through all the stuff that we talk about on the show every week, votes against stuff that he shouldn't, or votes for things he shouldn't, etc. And then it'll be cool. We got this guy who doesn't seem like a good guy, and now has politically betrayed us as well.
Right, yeah, that strategy also. Like, and don't forget, headline here, this is all fucking fake. Which we say constantly, this is absolutely 100% fake. As fake as fake can get. This is all distraction. This is all just tail chasing, to keep you thinking that the government is some kind of functional entity to keep people, like what we said earlier in the hour, to keep Gen Z, the new major voting bloc, thinking that they're upholding some sort of actual physical, real standard of material and of decorum and behavior, when none of the people involved. And I think that also shows like, okay, like, yeah, we have more visibility. Yeah, we have internet. Now there's internet culture. Everybody's responsible for the things they do and they say, and there's receipts and, blah, 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 blah. But like, that's not to say that everybody was so pious and perfect back before any of this stuff in all of the history of America, right? So, but at the same time, like, we're looking at like, why does everything seem so insane now when it comes to the conduct of these people? And why do we have to think about forgiving? And why do we have to have this conversation all the time?
I think now mostly it's just that there's more evidence and it's easier to get, and the culture has changed a bit where you come forward about stuff. I don't think people are committing more.
Right. Yeah. That's that's definitely a big part of it. But at the same time, it's what you just said. It's like, oh, if we take a guy who was already a bastard and put him in there, and then he does bastard shit, nobody's gonna be surprised, and everybody's gonna get conditioned to it. This guy would be John Fetterman Jr., right? Like, so that's what we're talking about. Like, ultimately, like, why does everything seem so much more out of control? Because it's like these people, it's harder to control people who are like basically just powerless and like useless and being used. And I don't care if they got into politics in high school and like the debate team or whatever and thought, I'm gonna change the world. And they get into the real system, and it's these incredible, awful, horrible humiliation, rituals, one right after the next, where you find out actually you're just basically, like a race car for rich people. So, but you just don't have to disclose any of that shit. And that's why like because they've used a couple of generations here of bad behavior and consistent bad behavior and forgiving of bad behavior and new levels of bad behavior on top of bad behavior. Now people are completely desensitized to it. And that gives you an even bigger picture of why this is all fucking fake, and where, like, it's like, oh, okay, it's so fake. Okay, where do you go? I don't fucking know. Like, everything's fake. Like, I'll go live in the damn, AI powered billionaire city. Like, they're going to fucking make you anyway.
The
like,
least you can do is stop sending the fucking Democrats money and time. Like, stop working for them, or the Republicans, of course. Like,
you've got to divest from the system. put your thinking toque on for like 1 second and remember, like, oh, why does it always we're around some midterms and some DSA people have won, sex scandal time, like, okay, now go back and think about, like, why does this always seem to happen again and again and again and again and again and again? Because that is literally how this works. They bank on the fact that that you are going to have a short memory, that you are going to like forget about everything that ever happened before in your entire life or anything you ever experienced or ever heard. And it works because like everybody has TikTok brain at this point and like doesn't remember anything, because you've heard me say many, many times on this show specifically about Graham Platner, which is like, why do these people who are yesterday like, fuck the system, this is fake, bullshit, I'm not investing in any more Democrats, I'm not getting involved, the DSA is fake, it's all fake, it's a fucking mess. And then the Graham Platner shows up, and then like 24 hours later they're like, but this bro, dude, one more bro, dude, I'm serious, bro, this is the most important vote of your life, bro, seriously, one more time. And it's like, what changed from yesterday to today to make you think that, like, okay, well, I'm back in the saddle, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I just think that people are just too afraid, like, especially with the Epstein file dump, I think people are just too afraid to accept that there's everything is just chaos. There's nothing, there is no political system to protect you, to save you, to help you, to enrich your life or improve things for you in any meaningful way, in any kind. All the power has already been funneled to these billionaire people, to this Epstein class. They already dictate policy, they neutralize policy. You ask, why are federal lands being sold? Like, why does like all these people going around doing all these things, like why is basically the EPA doesn't exist anymore to benefit all of these people who have already set things up for themselves to and it was in the Epstein files where they talked about how do we get people to tribalize and then ultimately capitalize and take advantage of that, because then they can go, the first stage at least of this is like, oh, come over and work in our star city, like, yo, we promise you a job and a house and it'll be great. And that's just a company city that's been done over and over and over again. But this time people have more capital than like anybody had in the history of all of life. So now that they can do things like that and make it actually, benefit them. So we're going back to a feudalism system, and it's already happening. So don't, if you're participating in any kind of government discourse, you're wasting your time. It doesn't exist anymore. It's already done. So that's what we're essentially at.
The significance of Platner for me, like on the grander stage here, is that he was the DSA candidate. We are former DSA people, and if you're looking for an alternative, like some kind of extreme left wing, if you're looking for quote unquote socialism, because like the S in DSA is socialists, so you would assume it would have something to do with like, oh, Jared, you're a big socialist, right? Why aren't you a DSA member? Why don't you join this party? And my argument, which continues to be proven through what keeps happening over and over in a cycle, like Nicolette's talking about, is that they inevitably just support whatever Democrat candidate is around and they think has the best shot at getting it. Yeah. And then
once they are in right office, back into the Democrats.
Yeah, once they are, it isn't really a part. They don't like run up their own candidates. They just all run as Democrats. Or you're Bernie, who's like an independent, but he's just a Democrat. Like he doesn't vote with the Republicans very often. But
there's hardly even any independents anymore at all. So
you get somebody in there, and then inevitably they do not do the thing they said they were going to do. This, for me, the line that showed that was not going to happen was the force the vote issue, however many years ago, when AOC and the squad got in, and everybody was like, "Come on, we're doing it." I was into it. I was like, they have a plan. They actually have like demands, like specific things. Like, we are going to, like, prevent, because to do Speaker of the House, like Nancy Pelosi at the time, there's a vote for it, and it's usually procedural, because whoever has the most, if there's more Republicans, the Republican guy is going to win. If there's more Democrats, the Democrat is going to win, of course. But you have to have a certain number of votes to do it, and you can like keep abstaining and just like making the vote happen over and over, and basically like stonewall it. And you could like make demands, force the vote. And the plan was to force a vote on Medicare or Medicaid, whatever, like universal health care. And they're going to, at the very least, this is the strategy, as it was said, was we would get everyone on record as to whether or not they voted down your health care. And I, as a lib at the time, I'm like, that's right. Show them. If you embarrass them, the policy will change because this is the West Wing, and that's how things work. And you talk and you make a passionate speech, and then, and then
Right?
the world gets better. And it's like, so the fact that they did not do that, I was like, oh, okay, so this is not real. This is not a thing they're going to do, even when they have the opportunity. It's like, what was it, a month ago, the guy who voted against his own bill in the House of Representatives because it needed to not pass because it was going to end the war. It's like that kind of thing. Look, inevitably, the ship is going the way it's going, and it is in the way of what is most beneficial to finance capital, what is the most beneficial to BlackRock and the other four of them that I can't remember the names of, and the biggest banks in the world. Like, what can keep... The whole point of the system is to keep it right here, because right now they're just making insane amounts of money, but their super profits are the tendency of the rate of profit to decline, as Marx discusses. Like, eventually you run out of infinite money glitch that is our like nonsense bank economy, and just like typing numbers into a computer and being like, money, hey. Like,
Right, yeah. That's all that you just described crypto. Like, oh,
also like a
we do
CIA
money
thing.
now, money, and that's it. I would like a money, please. All right, how many zeros? Like, okay, all right.
So if you're funneling your energy into, it's like, I want to change things, and you're looking at the DSA like they're gonna be it. They just have already demonstrated. Like, why would they suddenly now? Oh, now they will force the vote. Oh, like, they wouldn't last time, but now they're like,
Yeah, right.
these guys
Okay, yeah.
over-
Everybody had some time to think about how to get around that one this time.
I do support that. At least they have, as I've heard through secondhand information, one of their platform points is a 32-hour work week, and you hear me talk all the time about reducing the work week. So like,
yeah, you're galaxy brained already on this, because you're like,
But-
it should be a 4-hour work week
That's
because
gonna be
we have
exactly-
robots.
But that's going to be the next force to vote. Is they're going to be like, hey guys, you're going to pass the 32-hour work week, right? And then, by one vote, little Johnny, we couldn't quite get through. Because fucking Graham Platner had to be the deciding vote against
exactly. Yeah,
whatever it is. Like,
whoever it is. And kind of tying into this as well, the stories have been about like, oh, okay, like when we talked about Kamala Harris, thinking, not dying and going away and like gonna come back, like that, like she's apparently talking to people like Mamdani and some leading socialists and DSA members, and it's like, okay, she's talking to them now, like, so they're helping her, right? Like, so there it is, like, that's the whole thing. And we're not like haters of Mamdani, but we have been basically against him the whole time. So like, we don't hate the guy, but we know that
against
he's
isn't even the
only
right word.
doing-
They're all free to prove me wrong. They're all free to go in and like wreck shop and do whatever they say they're gonna do. Like, I just have yet to see it happen, and it's like, I'm just too old. I'm not even that old, and I've just seen it so many times.
It's just,
Like,
the
why
things
would
that
I-
Mamdani have done have been good, but you wouldn't think that if it wasn't the bare minimum bar so low it's in the ground.
It's
level
really
of
easy to be
shit
better right now.
That is
Like,
such basic human shit, like that should not, like a rent freeze. Like,
I'm
oh
not
yeah,
even gonna, like,
of
get-
course.
I'm not even going to get into it, but Germany is apparently removing a lot of its like sick leave provisions.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like, time out.
they're fucking out of it. Like, they're just as bad as we are. They always have been. Germany, you got yourselves a reputation, like.
Because they have to send more money to the war in Ukraine. Like, okay. So let's read about the DSA here. A year ago, the Democratic Socialists of America had 2 members in Congress. After Tuesday, they're just registered Democrats. They're not registered as like a socialist or whatever. It's just Democrats. I don't know. It's funny that they call them. It's just DSA aligned. Like, you just kind of, it's like a fan club you join by just like sending $20 in the mail. Like, that's what DSA is. It's not really a party. It kind of
you
it's
answer
like a
an ad in
PAC.
the back of a Rolling Stone.
It's more like a PAC, like a political action committee, where they will fund certain campaigns, which is a thing that a party does. But if you're that, why don't you like register as a different party? We can be a third party, not with.
Right? If they were serious.
Why aren't you all Greens or something? So
Like
Greens.
the Green Party couldn't be less serious, but it has its own party. The Libertarians are like the most unfucking serious people on the planet, but they have their own party.
Like, people have said, like, well, Lenin says you should run in elections. Like, no, he says you should run like commies in their elections to try and show how horseshit it is when they inevitably railroad you out of the election. Because nowadays, yeah, they won't even let a lot of the Green candidates on the ballot. Like, what was his name? The guy in California who they just, all the normal like nasty tricks of like, oh, you misspelled your name on this form and the blah, blah, so now we're gonna disqualify you this entire. Oh, you didn't get enough signatures because we disallowed this many of them. All these freaking backhanded mechanisms to make sure nobody can to make sure no change is even remotely possible. Like, we don't even want them on the ballot, even though we know they won't win. Like, Butch Ware, that's the guy, the Green Party dude. But anyway, so like, if the DSA is an actual opposition party pushing whoever left, they have yet to demonstrate the willingness to take the mechanisms that they themselves say they will use and actually attempt to use them. Like, they're sitting at the game board, but they're not making moves. They're just the status quo will continue. But hey, maybe in a few years we'll be sitting here with a 32-hour work week, and I will have been wrong.
No, I doubt it, but we'll probably end up with a 47-hour work week.
49-hour.
All is said and done. The thing about the DSA, and I think probably, you could say about them is like, they're like, the DSA is to like socialism, communism as like bikers in a biker gang are the guys who like to ride a motorcycle on the weekend. Like, that is like what we're really talking about here. There is no real seriousness to this. It's nothing like, they're not like real like action. Like, yeah, they're more like a pack because they're not really actually doing anything. There's no real literal political motivation.
And the individual members are very nice people. I want remember I started this with saying I'm very sympathetic and empathetic towards them. But
anybody who's trying to elicit positive change, you can't really hate on.
Their heart's in the right place.
Yeah. It's just that they haven't made the transition yet. Like, they haven't realized they're being taken, they're being hosed. And think about, like, we're saying, don't give money to Democrats, don't give money to Republicans. People are giving money to DSA like crazy. Like, that is like a thing that is happening. Like, they're growing in popularity, like, all the time. And they're using that popularity to grow. And then, like, we're going to go, oh, well, they stole all this money and nobody's done anything. And then nobody, whatever. Here we go, the cycle.
I forgot that sorry, I'm like reading ahead in this article now.
No, go ahead.
But I forgot that Cori Bush lost. Like, she's out. She's one of the squad people. And then,
well, she was one of the ones that wouldn't, that you, like you say, that you pulled out. She was a defective, wouldn't do what she was told.
She for like a quarter of a second, she was like being anti-Israel, and,
and then they plucked her out, and then they put in a pro-Israel, person like spent $1 million on getting into office, and there you have it.
I do think that the DSA, meaning the Democrats who say that they like the DSA, I do think that they're going to win more seats. I think that people will get their wish. Like, if you're a DSA member right now, I think you are going to be pretty happy in the immediate future, but then in the medium and long term, you're gonna watch them all turn into AOC and be like, no, they said they were gonna do things.
Right. And then, and it is, I agree with you. It is from an empathetic human point of view. Oh, it's sad to see people have to come to that realization, but it's also like, sometimes you have to like trip somebody to get them to fall over to find out that they were facing dangers. This is not like a good thing. Like, you're gonna have to where you stand back and like well, let them do it because your guys are gonna find out. John Fetterman was supposed to be that guy. AOC was supposed to be that guy. There were so many of them that came along were supposed to be the disruptor of government. There is no disruptor of government. It doesn't work like that.
They don't provide the mechanisms to do it because that would endanger it.
Yes.
So, like, to summarize this article, the DSA has been winning some more seats. They're going to get a couple more people into the House of Representatives. They're winning a bunch of like local, the city boards, etc. Like some medium.
Yeah, you'll see a lot more in the local-esque levels of things that's happening.
But like, here we go. The Democratic Socialist candidates on the ballot this year have campaigned on the priorities, the core of the DSA platform: Medicare for all, more affordable housing, higher taxes on wealthy Americans, and a forthrightly pro-Palestinian foreign policy. I mean, and that can even be debated because famously there's that vote where it's like, Palestine good bad, and it's like 43% bad. And it's like, wait, what?
Right.
How, you saying like
Yeah, and
almost
that's like
half
the
of you
the
don't
Gen
like
Z
this?
poll we were talking about, and it's like, what the fuck? And then also the more affordable housing. Okay, that's pretty manipulable language. Like, what does that even mean? Like, affordable for who? Affordable in what way? What
Yeah.
would you do to make that happen? Like, no, but we just want it more affordable. It's more affordable now, though. It's more affordable. Also,
I would love to find out if they ever got into more specifics if I read like their whole platform, but I'm not going to take the time to do it because, like I said, I don't think they're
no,
real.
it's worthless.
We need, what is this saying? We need centrists to win nationally.
Oh,
Democratic strategist Al Motour told
God.
MS Now. What is MS Now? I don't know. Oh, that's fucking
that's
MSNBC now. I
MSNBC.
forgot. Ew. I thought that some of these positions are so extreme they will be rejected when we head to a national climate, which is what 2028 will be. But DSA leaders say they don't expect their members to break with fellow Democrats on every vote on the Hill. Probably they will be very safe Democratic votes on things that are serving the people. Avila Chevalier? Chevalier?
Chevalier, yeah.
There we go. 32, who
Like
unseated
Maurice Chevalier, yes.
These names are getting harder to say for me. Who unseated Adriano Espaillat? Come on, man. Don't
It's just to fuck with you on purpose.
in New York, I'm not making fun of them, by the way. I just can't pronounce them easily, and I didn't read ahead. In New York's 13th district has drawn criticism from fellow Democrats over her far left positions and a provocative social media history. Oh, is she like the fuck Kamala Harris lady? Which whoever that was, they did later apologize for it, but I thought it was funny.
Oh, that.
She told MS Now she believes she can work with anyone in the party.
Oh, really? How convenient for the party. Yeah,
I mean,
so this article unintentionally is telling you what we're telling you. They are funneling people back into the Democrats. They are making Democrats palatable by trying to have you look at people like Mamdani and like the superstars of like the socialism movement or whatever, which
they'll tell
again
you, like,
nothing.
they'll tell you, like, grow up. This is politics. You just have to say that you're going to agree with them, but then secretly. And it's like, come on, man. We've already seen how this works with force a vote. It didn't happen. That was
And
their
then
shot
at the
to
same
do it.
time, the conversation around getting rid of the Electoral College was happening, and that never
They
materialized.
talk about that every freaking year.
Yes.
It never happens.
Yeah, somewhere in between that this is the most important vote of your life sandwich, there was always the talk about getting rid of the Electoral College, and that magically never happens. Just the same way everything gets worse all the time for you and never better.
Look, guys, we're going to get there because it clearly isn't working out. Everything's getting more expensive. Everybody's having a harder time, but I do think we are going to get our, like, DSA millennial empire, however you want to call it. I think these candidates will get into office, and then they're going to be suddenly like, well, this is just the reality of the situation. We got to start bombing insert country. Like, we're going back to the Iran war.
Yeah, they've been very clear here in this article and in general to say, like, okay, you're just watching this, you've never heard of DSA. What's DSA? They're very clear about this. They're centrists. This is centrism. Like, you have like center right and center left. You would technically have to put them center left, but they would behave
In
just
today's zeitgeist, they're now the, like, common sense party, which is really funny because that used to be like the Republicans, like, we're the common sense party. And it's
right.
like,
Yeah. Because we know at this point, it's like people, and the whole reason we're here, and I think this is a lot of the stuff you heard in our earliest episodes, is like people feel super marginalized, right? Like they believe that this is still how things work. They don't understand that this is basically a dead system. They believe that if it's their civic duty to do something about it, but what are they going to do? They don't, like, the Republicans are insane. Like, so, like, what, because, like, nobody's looking at the big picture here. Is like somebody has to be the villain so that the actual villains can continue to villain. Like, they're running interference. Republicans run interference for the Democrats so that the Democrats seem reasonable. When you look at any Democratic policy, look at any, like, spread of Democratic votes, look at literally how anything, like what you were just talking about a guy voting down his own bill because they needed to make sure it lost by enough. Does that sound Democratic to you? And, like, any fucking form or fashion, like come the fuck on. Like
Yeah,
the
we do
system
not
has
have-
gamed itself to the point where it's out of power and it doesn't work anymore because it's been pieced and parceled off since the Reagan administration. So once again, let's all dig Reagan up and kick the shit out of his dead zombie body because he is the one that brought this in. And I don't even know, like sometimes I just kind of philosophically think about like that was like literally like, everybody I think would agree that that was like the worst party in history. That was the pinnacle of the downfall of this, why we are where we are now. Everything bad happened then in the dark. Basically, people didn't realize the impact it would have. And I kind of wonder, did they know what they were doing to the point that it would get to this point? Was this the goal? You know, like, was this the end? I sounded so Tucker Carlson there for a minute. Was this the goal, right? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Like that. And that's where we are now too. And to follow up on what we did talk about, now that it comes to mind, when the Tucker Carlson story broke, because for some reason this seems to be like the time of day and the time of week when stories break, and we don't always have the information all together.
Always Monday night.
Yeah, it's always like Monday night, Tuesday morning,
Tuesday
and we're on
morning.
like Tuesday early afternoon. So it's like, oh well, here's the headline, but we don't know where it's going. So when we broke the story here on our show about Tucker Carlson, we said, okay, all that we know about him at this point is that he says he's
I
breaking
should
with
say,
the Republican Party.
I should say that apparently as of 1 hour ago, Bernie Sanders has publicly encouraged Graham Platner to exit the race. So there you go. That's what's
All
going to happen.
right, fucking it. I mean, whatever. Like, okay, and it's like that wasn't like the plan all along. It's like get him out, like, and so like somebody else, like his, like competitor can win or whatever.
Is it like a
you know.
humiliation ritual just to demonstrate to us that like, haha, fuck you?
Yeah, right.
You want a DSA candidate? We're gonna give you a Platner, the guy with the most baggage possible.
Yeah, and then we also have like, well, to finish my thought here, it's like we didn't have that information when we were talking about the split between Tucker Carlson saying he wasn't going to support Republicans anymore, and it's like, yay, because sometimes we have to agree with shit that he says, but that doesn't make him a good guy or anything. But then a couple weeks later go by, and now he's saying he's going to make his own party. Like, okay, like okay, so you can just do that then, right? Like you can just definitely fucking do that. Nobody cares, and it's all right. Like,
Do you think it's
he
gonna
wasn't
be?
going to join Democrats? I like that just seemed like he hadn't been courted enough. Like,
Do you think it's
because
gonna be an independent thing, or is he just gonna like be like the DSA but for Republicans, like the new Tea Party?
Yeah, that's how the new Tea Party is what it sounds like to me from what I understand about it. But
They still run as Republicans, but
yeah, right. Yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. As this goes on, like, yes, yeah, it's still caucus with Republicans and still Republican with Republican. We really don't like you. It's like
this is America. We give the biggest variety of products. You have the right and the left deviation of the same thing of the DSA over here.
And that's another good. But these distraction tactics work for your neighbors, your common American people who just are not like dialed into things the way that we are doing it. In like, we're so far beyond. No, but we really are. Anybody that's like watching this in any kind of agreement or saying similar things to what we're saying, we've moved on to the galaxy brain phase of things, because like we went through all of the stages. We went shitload DSA to socialists to communists. Like we rode the Bernie Express, and that's how we got here, and that's what happened. I think my camera's kind of I'm losing on some gains here a little bit, but I think my audio is probably fine. Anyways, that we got okay, good. That's good. Yeah, we got here because we got for the very direct path that we didn't we're not still circling the drain like these DSA people, and that kind of brings us into what we were talking about at the top of the hour. Now with this Gen Z, because everybody's done with millennials, they're old. No one cares what they do. They're no longer the focus.
We're all the Congress people now. Most of the politicians are millennials.
Yeah, we're the old heads now, and now it's time to like start focusing on like the next generation of who we can hornswoggle into this scenario. So that's why this poll came out, and then like a lot of you see a lot of socialist accounts and things like that, and who again aren't really like calling themselves communist again, which I get is polarizing. I do understand that their term communism is polarizing because it was used so negatively for so long, but socialism is not a solution to that. You know,
You guys
in
just
the
gotta start
grand
reading the
scale.
books, man. It's like
Yeah, right. Please, yeah. As Jared likes to refrain, read a book, read a goddamn book.
just
Because, like, that
I
is what
shouldn't
we're
call them books.
basically
Lenin's doing a lot. These are pamphlets. It's like
pamphlet.
40 to 80 pages, some of them, and some of you can even skip. So it'll be like
It's like a
Russian
blog
history. You don't have
post.
to read that. That it kind of was a bunch of people making very large blog posts at each other back in Russia in the revolutionary days. Okay, but Nicolette may now be entirely gone because she is frozen. And hold up, let me get her freeze frame off of there. See, my internet's been like rock solid. Oh no. Let me do it again. It's like blowing on an NES cartridge. Nicolette, can you hear me? I don't know. I think you might be out because I have no audio. I didn't like mute you accidentally, did I? I did not. Well, we're almost at an hour, my friends. I'm trying to do I have 9 more minutes of ranting about the DSA left in me? When we talk about the split of I used to be the same way where it does just feel like the socialism and communism is used as like a levels thing where it's like if you're a little bit communist, you're a socialist. If you're a lot of bit communist, you're a communist. And of course, being both of these things is essentially being a Democrat but really angry, and you might want health care or something, because that's like, unless you go out and read this material, no one's gonna hand it to you in like a TikTok. There's actually surprisingly few like in-depth big YouTube like essays or productions or whatever that'll teach you this kind of stuff, or at least get you going towards it. The absolute best way is to just go to primary sources. All of this material is available as PDFs on the internet for free. I think is it Marxists.org or
Yeah, I think
.com?
so. I think it's
Oh,
what
I
Marx
think I
said.
have you. I think you might be here.
Yeah. I think I'm back
Okay.
for a couple of seconds anyway. While we close things out. Well, you know, it's just that like when we talk about all of this, when you want to, you know, encapsulate it all, like, okay, so we're looking at this new Gen Z era is supposed to be like the new leadership, the new like thought tank, like this is who's going to lead us into the future, like of what things are and what people need to be and what society needs to do. And then we look at poll numbers that are like, oh, they voted socialism above capitalism. Okay, good. But they voted communism below capitalism. Not so good, because like, you know, functionally, even though this has been different at different times in history, what a socialism is, and, you know, Marxist-Leninism is, and what communism is, now in the modern times, communism and socialism have taken on the same definition, because unless you're telling me that the people identifying as socialists, which I'm comfortable with either term, but I think at this point it's kind of a shit or get off the pot situation. So you're telling me, okay, like, no, you're a socialist but not a communist because right, like that's, it just doesn't make any sense to me, like, because socialism is a stop along the road to communism. Like, socialism is not the final expression of like living in a situation where we're, you know, like in a moneyless society where everybody has got what they need and everything is functioning at, you know, like at a good clip, and no capital is not dictating anyone's needs or lifestyle, or, you know, we just one of the top stories today is that the Trump EPA has allowed for 3 new cancer-causing chemicals to be sprayed on all the food. So, you know, you're not going to sit there and tell me that capitalism isn't driving the capitalism machine, you know?
Way.
But, well, oh no, we only want to solve that half the way, and then enter DSA, you know? So that's where we're really like in the
MAGA was it's past tense now. It's over. MAGA was like kind of like the right wing DSA, where they had a couple things where you're like, actually that would be good, and one of them
basically gone.
And one of them was to stop spraying as many chemicals on all the food, which I agreed with, and like the red dyes, etc. Like just taking health standards up to what the rest of the world seems to have. I don't know about red dye, but like the fact that most of the world has stopped using it, I'm like that might mean something. That might be a sign. Maybe there's some maybe that'd be worth getting rid of. But then they just backpedal on all that stuff. They were supposed to get to spray fewer chemicals on our plants, which probably is not good. I don't know to what extent it is not good, but it doesn't seem like a great idea. And now they just aren't. They're instead going to in fact be spraying more chemicals on the food because the DSA
Not
gets
great.
in, and I don't think they're going to raise the minimum wage. The
No.
Republicans get in, and I do not think they're going to do. I don't know, stop all the stuff I was just talking about. You don't get your wish either way because we don't actually have democratic influence over our government or its actions. Therefore, stop.
I think we're about going to have to call it here.
not worth
Things are kind of falling apart pretty rapidly.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I think we're both talking over each other.
Yes. You know what? Yeah, like okay, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here because I don't know if I can even be seen at this point, and things are not really going exactly according to plan. So I hope that you can hear me and or see me, and we will be back with you next week with whatever horrible nonsense is going on. So thanks so much for at least bearing with us through this with our fantastic American internet. We appreciate it. So we hope that you have a good week, and remember you can check all our past episodes on our Rumble and YouTube channels, and you can always follow us on our socials. We're kind of hidden, shadow banned, or what have you, because we don't say the right words and post the right things, so we're a little hard to find, but we're there. But on that note, take care of yourself, you guys, and hope that you can join us again.
I'm going to click in just in case Nicolette's won't work.